Week 110, Day 4. Ventilation Trouble. In the daily briefing, Darius brings up the barracks climate control system. Apparently, it started cycling randomly between tolerable and the inside of a mech cockpit in the desert. We've been through this one, I thought. Dr. Murad just shrugs. I can replace the fan controllers again, but it may not be money well spent. Something else is going on in the unimproved power conduits, but as the Argo is very old and very complicated, tracking it down has been difficult. Here we go, replacing the stupid fan controllers again. Dr. Murad nods. Of course, one less thing to worry about right now. Replacing the fan controllers resolves the temperature issue, at least for the short term. Dr. Murad deprioritizes tracking down the problem's root cause, whatever is happening in the power system. It isn't currently causing issues, and there are other problems to solve. I lose 10,000 C-bills. Okay, we're going to upgrade again. This time the library. Hopefully we can make some of my mech warriors a little bit on the literate side. Requires beta pods, so we're good there. Low purchase cost, kind of. Average cost is very low, negligible. Completion's only 10 days, but it gives me some morale. A library is more than just a database and a stack of e-readers. It requires a dedicated space for quiet study and learning, as far from the raucous lounge as possible. Yang's the one giving the feedback here. I swear to the gods, trying to read a technical readout in that lounge is impossible. Commander, I need to keep up with the latest tech to do my job, and I can't do it while the mech warriors are playing beer pong over my head. We'll give it to him.
Sure thing. It'll take a bit, but we'll get it done.
Yeah, your boyfriend wants the work done. Thanks. It's always a good time for an upgrade here on the good ship Lollipop. I mean, the Argo. And let's see here. We can improve the library, or we can give our guys a lounge. Let's go ahead and improve the library. Let's see. Nearly 500,000 and almost 2,000 C-bills on upkeep cost, but it takes 15 days. Gives us a +1 morale. Active subscriptions to a variety of ebook services, periodicals, and tri-vid channels make the library even more appealing to everyone. A jump ship pilot told me there's an off-the-book digital distribution service. They get tri-vid and books from drop ships and sell them under the table. It would be more interesting than the decade-old mech magazines Yang keeps putting in the library anyway. Okay, yeah, if Yang got control of the library, then we need to do something. So, here we go.
Sure thing. It'll take a bit, but we'll get it done.
Here we go again. Week 114, Day 1, and pirates ambush the Argo again. Blaring klaxons interrupt an otherwise quiet morning routine as several fast-moving ships appear. Pacing the Argo, Darius broadcasts their hail to the bridge. You're flying through our space, strangers. It's awfully dangerous out here. Just awful, especially for a ragged-looking ship like the Argo, is it? Tell you what. We'll provide you with safe passage, for a price, of course. When you consider your options, Sumire pipes up, Commander, if you can buy me some time, I could do a rapid fire-up of the Leopard. That'll teach them not to mess with us. Yeah, last time we stalled till it was ready. I'm not going to pay them, so let's play our Liked by the Restoration card. Darius sends an SOS, and you set out buying time until help arrives. Just as the pirates begin to lose patience, several interceptors arrive on the scene, bearing the colors of the local authorities. With a growl of displeasure, the enemy captain commands her flagship to turn tail. Another time, Commander, mark my words. And our morale increases by 1. My guys are really happy. We arrive at the planet for a mission, and we're actually ready for another upgrade. So that's 2 within 1 trip. And if you notice, there's only 3 more morale points that I can actually get. My company is, well, frankly happy as can be. So let's go ahead and give them a lounge. It doesn't cost terribly much, so this isn't too bad. Gives us 1 morale, a shared social space outside the barracks that allows the mech warriors to bond as a team. I've just had to chase off another card game out of the mess hall so the staff could clean up, Commander. The crew needs somewhere to relax that isn't also where we're trying to serve meals. Fine, Darius, here you go. It's upgrade time once again, and this time we're going to upgrade the lounge, which will put us 1 step away from having the maxed out morale. A few couches and table don't make for much of a social space. Drinks, 2D video screens, and a sound system on the other hand. The engineers were wondering if they could schedule a regular tri-vid event. There's this show about mercenaries during the Civil War, and their mechs were supposed to be historically accurate. They'd like a space to watch stuff like that. Yeah, whatever. Here you go, Yang.
All right, I'll get the team on it right away.
Week 118, Day 6. Rumble Seat. The Argo's command deck begins shaking again. I can't stand this anymore, Sumire says. This has been happening every 2.5 hours like clockwork. It makes me want to break something. Every 2.4 hours, to be precise. Dr. Murad's tone is infuriatingly reasonable, and only while the Argo is under thrust. Sumire flashes you an exasperated look. Why can't we get this fixed? After 17 seconds, the shaking stops right on schedule. I can tell everyone to live with it, or I can ask Dr. Murad to fix it again. Now, last time I just asked her to fix it again. Didn't happen. Now, once I do structural reinforcement, I can fix this on a permanent basis. That's going to happen, just not yet. So I'll just tell everyone to live with it this time. This is just one of Argo's quirks, you say. Since we haven't been able to fix it, we're just going to have to live with it. That's rich, Commander. I notice you and Darius always go on break just before it starts, Sumire says. You smile at your navigator. The perks of command, you should try it sometime. She scowls back. Oh well. I know better next time. And now my guys have their upgraded lounge, and let's see what the next upgrade we can do is. We just had that issue with the Argos, so upgrading the structure is probably not a terrible idea. And we can just do it. We already meet the prerequisites. So, the internal supports for the Argo's spine are functional, but without significant rebuilding and reinforcement, the demands of 3 fully operational hab pods instead of habitat pods, okay, will eventually torque it apart into scrap. Commander, we're still well under the specifications for the ship's main spine. If you want to put any more mass into Gamma Pod or increase the drive output, we need to spend more time bringing the secondary supports up to full strength. It's going to take us an entire month, but it's kind of cheap, so I see no reason to knock this out, as this will also let me rebuild my my funds. So, anyway, here we go. It's time for another distress call. It's week 21, day 5. Sumire catches your attention on the bridge. Commander, I've picked up a distress call from a nearby civilian transport. It's not exactly our job to assist in matters like this, but we may be the nearest ship available. She studies the display. On the other hand, it looks like the ship's engines are in a critical state. They could explode before we get there. I'm going to mount a rescue expedition. We've kind of learned our lesson on the last one. Morale increases by 1, and the Urano Restoration is happy with us. When the Argo arrives at the source of the distress beacon, it's clear you've made the right decision. A handful of void-suited passengers spin aimlessly away from a gaping hole in the hull, hoping against hope for rescue. Your tech staff manages to scoop up the survivors just before the transport explodes. There we are again. It's time again for the upgrade, and let's see what we get this time. Well, seems we need to upgrade the power system next. It doesn't give us a lot of choice. So, repaired power conduits was the first requirement. We're going to improve them now with improved power conduits. Running power through a patched-together conduit system isn't reliable or safe. Upgrading all the conduits throughout the Argo is a monumental task, but necessary for anything that places a significant load on the system. Notably, upgrading the power system will allow us to provide power to all 3 habitat pods, which means more room and more Argo systems operational. Here we go.
All right, I'll get the team on it right away.
Fun little side note, I've finally done it. I have maxed out my crew's morale. So, from here out, I'm going to be a little bit more stingy. Well, not stingy, but I'm just going to pay them a normal rate of pay from here out. Anyway, back to work. Here we go. Another batch of upgrades. Let's see what this actually opened up for us. Oh, great. Let's see. Travelers in need. In the daily briefing, Sumire brings up an open hail from a nearby ship. They say their crew has contracted a virulent case of the periphery pox, but the local government is preventing them from landing to receive medical care. Darius shrugs. We could sell them one of our medical supplies, but it would limit us in the med bay for a bit. But given their situation, I'd expect they'd pay up. Dr. Murad bristles at this suggestion. Spacers should stick together, Commander. Besides, the local authorities might appreciate our generosity. You know, last time we sold the supplies, I could stay out of it and see what happens. But let's go ahead and just give them some medical supplies. I'm not sure that this is something I would normally do, but I just want to see what happens. You nodded, Dr. Murad. We're only one bad bug away from the same situation ourselves. Make arrangements for transfer of supplies. Over the next several days, word trickles through the ship about your decision, and the large contingent of lifelong spacers in the crew express their support. Okay. Sumire passes along a message of thanks from the planet's surface for resolving the situation favorably. The company suffers a -1 medical point penalty for 14 days. We gain a +1 reputation with the Arano restoration. That's going to come out in the long term as being beneficial, and morale increases by 1. Okay. Anyway, what we're doing. Upgrades. Correct. Alright. Into engineering we shall go. And it did. It opened up quite a bit for us. We can open the next pod, which I get the feeling is necessary for the med bay. We can open up a mech bay. There's a machine shop and another training module here. And then arcade. We could build an arcade. Okay. And a low G pool. They really weren't kidding about the pool. Is there going to be a bouncy castle when I finish this? At any rate, we know we need the gamma pod in order to get the med bay. So, let's see. Oh, ouch. Okay. Oh, we're going to be working on this one for a while. Okay. The barracks supports up to 24 mech warriors. Great. 2 million? Oh, this sucks. Gamma pod is very much a blank slate, as only its internal support structures survived intact. Rebuilding the habitation decks of the pod still leaves plenty of space for other facilities. Commander, there are already a half-dozen requests for new facilities for Gamma Pod, ranging from a swimming pool to a dropship-sized bouncy castle. On a more practical note, we could also begin using the Gamma Pod medical facilities. That's what I'm concerned with. Well, I was going to do it anyway, right? Here we go.
All right, I'll get the team on it right away.
Oh, that hurts. I hope my crew appreciates this. Anyway. Ouch. See you guys in a few moments. And it's poker night again. I've already read this. Let's just go ahead and skip to the fun little bit where I think I'm going to try to manipulate the game this time. Darius cracks open a new deck of cards. Because not everybody here follows the rules, I blink innocently, consider the mental state of your staff and decide how you want the game to resolve. You have to play carefully to give Sumire the game, because neither she nor Darius trusts you at the table, but Yang inadvertently helps over and over, and Sumire is happy enough to accept each hand she wins. After the game concludes, only you and Darius are left finishing your drinks. You say, "Have you noticed how the mech warriors pick up on Sumire's moods? How can you mind losing when the whole ship is happier this way?" Darius gives you a hard smile. "I don't mind, Commander. I was playing from the company's petty cash fund." Oh, you dick. Morale increased by 2. I like that one, actually. That one's pretty cool. Alright, anyway, back to work. Okay, so just as I got to Panzer, we completed one of the upgrades. Got Gamma Pod actually running, so we have all 3 pods going, and oh, the ship view is beautiful. We've done some seriously good work on the Argo if you go back to the first video and see what we inherited her as. But let's go ahead and do the next upgrade. I realize this is going to suck financially, but it's going to be worth it. Right now we're doing very good with the mech tech, so I'm not worried about that. I'm more concerned with medical. Oh wow, a full-blown hospital bay? Ooh. Anyway, Med Bay 3 is first. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Okay. $2.25 million. The fully upgraded field hospital has enough bed space, diagnostic equipment, and surgeries to allow fully half the company to be treated at once. The cost includes the salary of an additional skilled med tech to treat your injured warriors. At this point, I've almost got a med tech per warrior. We're taking enough injuries to keep our current medical staff fully tasked, Commander, and that makes me worry about our future capacity. These battles aren't going to get any easier. We have the space for another med bay. I'm sure we'll find it useful. Yes, we will. The faster we get healed, the better. I know, but oh, this is gonna hurt. Here we go.
Sure thing. It'll take a bit, but we'll get it done.
Anyway, I've got work to do. I gotta get some money here.
Top-notch work, if I may say so.
Well, we now have Medbay 3, now to see what we need to do to max out our medical stat here. Granted, it's kind of funny I do this and I have nobody injured, but we've still got the story mission to do, and I'm sure I'll take in the teeth for that one. I can't actually do that one yet. Interesting. What does the hospital bay need? High capacity power conduits. Ooh, you know what? This will be worth it though. Chance of death from incapacitating is 5% less likely. That's kind of important, because there's been a few missions where, like, I'd lose Glitch. And Glitch right now has maxed her stats out on 2 categories. So things like that are kind of important to me. In that case, let's go ahead and get the high-capacity power conduits going here. It's not too expensive compared to what we've been paying. So, the Argo is intended to operate at a much higher total power throughput than the jury-rigged conduits can manage. Replacing all of them with high-capacity cabling unlocks the ship's full potential. This is a remarkable ship. I continue to be astonished at how advanced portions of the Argo infrastructure are. We're not even running the drive at half the power it can handle. More power means more thrust, Commander, and at this point, the way things are costing me, I might actually need the more thrust just to make the time go slower so that I can get more contracts in. I'm thinking they expected this to be drawn out across a few story missions, whereas I'm putting it all in before my next phase. The good thing is now with the morale as high as it is and everything else, I should be able to just kind of skate through the next mission, to be honest with you. It should go quickly. Anyway, here we go.
Sure thing. It'll take a bit, but we'll get it done.
Take your time, sweetheart. Take your time. It's time for Happy Accidents again. We've got Triple F Burger. It's week 135, day 2. Last time I had tasked Darius with selling the meat. Ooh, this one will be new. Probably increases morale. Let's put these hydroponics to good use and recreate an authentic Triple F Burger for our crew. An idea pops into my head. Chief, you're kind of an expert on Triple F Burgers. Do you think that the hydroponics garden has what you need to recreate the real thing? Yang's face takes on the stony expression that you've come to associate with complicated refit orders. From what I've heard, this stuff is basically whale meat, so I'll have to improvise, but yes, challenge accepted. By the end of the week, Yang and his mech techs had raided the garden and retrofitted a blast furnace into a makeshift grill. Somebody even decorated the mess hall in Triple F's trademark colors. While only those who've traveled in Davion space can attest to the accuracy of the burgers, everyone agrees that they're delicious. Morale has increased by 2. That's one way to get it back up rather than paying these guys. So, whatever works. Happy family. Alright, back to work. Okay, this is a new one. Underfed. It's week 137, day 3. Darius mentions that the ship's galley is low on provisions at the daily briefing. We need to make a supply run, but the question is, when? Putting the crew on reduced rations could work in the short term if things are too tight. Everybody else at the briefing room groans as they look at you. I can authorize an immediate grocery run to reduce everyone's rations, or expand the hydroponics to grow more vegetables. We've got a hydroponics bay, let's use it, and save some money, because good lord, these last upgrades are expensive. The crew expands hydroponics garden with additional racks of lettuce, cucumbers, and radishes. Soon radishes seem to be part of every meal. So many radishes. Somehow the phrase, "and a radish," becomes the height of morbid humor aboard the Argo. And a radish. No lasting consequences. And a radish. Anyway, I've got work to do, guys. At least my crew has food. Okay, anyway, let's see. We've got this hospital bay we can finally purchase. It required medical bay 3, high-capacity power conduits, and that's really it. Now, it costs an arm and a leg, and it just continues to cost. But it'll give us +2 medical points. Chance of death from incapacitating damage is 5% less likely, which is nice. And same thing from lethal damage. It's 5% less likely, which, given how much I've invested in my 4 primary pilots, that's kind of important to me. The original Argo specifications had room and infrastructure for actual hospital facilities. rather than just simple med bays. With a full hospital's worth of equipment and connections to the ship's library and databases, the medtechs are able to perform near miracles of healing. All med bays will be converted into hospital bays. Commander, the medics are talking about all the advanced facilities, and we now have sufficient power to operate it all. We need to do a major overhaul of all our med bays, but we'd substantially increase our ability to treat severe injuries. This is the max, so it's going to be worth it. We were going to pay for it anyway, but we are definitely going to be taking a financial hit on this one.
All right, I'll get the team on it right away.
Thank you. See you in another month, Farad. All right, it is week 138, day 5, new holovids. The Argo's current budgeting line includes a line item for crew entertainment, so after polling the morning briefing for preferences, Darius places an order, and soon a shipment of popular new holovid ships from Panzer arrives. A mix of action, historical drama, horror, screwball comedies, and animated features. Yes, we've read that part before. Now, I've got a few other things, because I have the lounge for a holovid night, and then I have the upgraded lounge, where I can reserve a private screening room for the senior staff. Seems kind of dickish, but let's take care of the senior staff for once. I just want to see what happens. Morale increased by 1, I'll take it. You and Yang join Sumire in watching a new production of an old comedy of manners, set during a lull in the Third Succession War. Halfway through the story, you're unsurprised to find that none of the other crew who peeked in have stayed. Sumire and Yang egg each other on so much in their vocal response to the show that if the story hadn't been familiar to all of you, you never would have been able to follow it. So, oh well, it increased morale, that's what mattered. So, anyway, here we go. Understaffed, week 140, day 4. As you approach the mess deck, you overhear members of the Argo's crew complaining, because they're significantly understaffed. Everybody is exhausted from pulling extra shifts to keep things running. It hasn't overwhelmed them yet, but they have dark expectations about the future. I can discuss it with Darius, or let them vent privately. You know what? We're going to let them vent privately, because Darius is just going to kind of come down on them. You let them gripe privately and hope that it will be the end of it. Instead, dissatisfaction spreads, and soon the entire crew is openly complaining. They grumble about the shoestring budget and workload, the food, the way the Argo smells, anything and everything. Soon, any semblance of discipline is lost. Oh well. We'll get it back somehow. New holovids. Alright, we've read the premise behind this one before. Let's put this upgraded lounge to good use and reserve a private screening room for the senior staff again. You and Dr. Murad both joined Darius in the lounge to watch an animated psychological horror story about a battle mech with an unusual engine design. Its creators search for the perfect pilot. Sounds like Gundam Wing. Not Gundam Wing, but Gundam... Gundam Fighter. Anyway, Darius ventures a single amused remark early in the show when the inventor is monologuing, but the dagger look Dr. Murad turns on him prevents any further commentary. When finally the credits flow across the screen, Darius says, "That was better than I expected." Dr. Murad says smugly, "I told you so." Morale increased by 1. And we now have a full hospital, giving us 12 to our medical, which is nice, and less death chance. Anyway, as much as I would like to go ahead and help out with Yang's plans to take over my ship, I'm more concerned with the drive system. We've got the jerry-rigging, improved power conduits, and structural repair done, so we can go ahead and do drive repairs. It only takes 15 days, but the travel time to and from jump points is reduced by 20%. The Argo's drive was enough to get it off the surface of a low-gravity moon, but much of the supporting infrastructure was damaged from the escape, and in running the drive at full power requires extensive repairs. Once the repairs are complete, the drive can generate 1.5 G of thrust. The Argo's drive is only operating at a fraction of its potential, Commander. With some time and materials, I believe I can boost the output of the secondary fusion reactors. To put it simply, I'll make the Argo go faster. Now, the cool thing about this is we can fit more missions in during the month, which means I can take easy missions but still generate a profit. So we're going to take advantage of that. Alright, drive upgrade phase 1 is complete, which is rather nice. And let's see, back into engineering to put her onto another upgrade. A little bit more pricey. Let's see. Travel time to and from jump points is reduced by 30%. The Argo can, in a pinch, generate quite a bit more thrust than it first seemed. By repairing a number of drive subsystems meant to increase thrust efficiency, it's possible to get the Argo up to an uncomfortable 2 Gs of sustained thrust. The Argo's drive is far more powerful than I suspected. We may not ever bring it completely back online, but for now I can increase our thrust. While 2G is not comfortable and the crew will complain, we'll cut our travel time significantly. Let's do it.
Sure thing.
And pirates ambush the Argo again on week 145, day 6. I'm going to do the liked by the restoration again. This seems to work the best. Ooh, Underworld Friends. Interesting. Can't use it yet, but it'd be neat. Morale increases by 1. Darius sends an SOS. Just this part. Yeah, we've read this before. Anyway, at least it increased morale. Here we go with the Travelers in Need then. Just going to give them some medical supplies. And, as expected, everyone seems to be pretty happy about it. So, yay. Free morale. Alright, we just finished with the engine upgrades. And now it's time to go ahead and see what else we can mess with. Don't really need the crew habitat stuff yet, so I'll go ahead and... How much is the mech bay? Oh, God. Right. Really? Let's compare it to the rest really quick. $500,000. $500,000. $500,000. $500,000. Okay. This is the next major one. 30 days. Got it. Mech Bay 3. Up to 18 battle mechs. 4 tech points, so at least mechs should go in and out fast. With the Argo's power systems fully online, and enough reinforcement to keep the active base from damaging the ship's spine, the final 6 mech cubicles can be powered up and put to work. The power's back on to the rest of the mech bay, and we can start repairs on the last 6 cubicles. Even if you don't want to fill them with mechs, believe me, I can put the extra space to good use. It's going to take a shitload of work, though. Alright, there you go.
Roger that, Commander. I'll get the crew moving.
Hope this is worth it, man. We just wiped out my finances. Thanks, Yang. Progress. Week 152, Day 5, Rumble Seat. Now, we've read this before. This is where they complain about the shake every 2.4 hours, and it's been a while, so they'd probably forgotten about the discussion we had. But I can spend $100,000, and thanks to our structural reinforcement, finally recalibrate the rotation controllers. Hopefully this fixes it once and for all, and I never see this thing again. The morning briefing begins on a high note. Dr. Murad, I believe you've finally got some good news for me? With grim satisfaction, she agrees. Yes, I've been waiting for the final structural reinforcement work to be done before recalibrating the rotation controllers. With your go-ahead, I can take care of it. 90 minutes later, Dr. Murad calls up from engineering. I've restarted the pod rotation controller, and that will quell the problem indefinitely. And there's no risk of damage, you ask her? No risk, she says. I finally feel like I'm getting to know this old bird, quirks and all. Morale has increased by 1, and I'm out some money. It's worth it. And Mech Bay 3 is done, so let's go ahead and let Yang spend more of my hard-earned money. It's not like he fights. Okay, the machine shop, $500,000, roughly. It's going to be expensive over the long term. And let's see, adds 2 tech points. Maintaining mechs in the Secession War eras is complicated by the relative rarity of precision manufacturing parts. The Argo's machine shop, once repaired and brought online, can help address this lack. Okay, what we've got here is a fully outfitted machine shop and a whole lot of data on mech specifications. Get this back online, and we'll be machining our own parts, probably better than the ones coming out of the Tarian factories. Faster, too. Does this mean you can build me an Atlas?
Roger that, Commander. I'll get the crew
Daishi.
moving.
Anyway, we'll see him again in 30 days, and then we'll go ahead and do the last little 3 snippets. I can't wait to have this ship built. It's week 155, day 1, and we get happy accidents again, where we just happen to get these triple F burger meats. I'm starting to think this is a little more than an accident, but you know what? We need the money, not the morale, so let's go ahead and get Darius to sell them. Don't gain much, but yeah, something. We've done this one before. But hey, it's money, and I told you guys I'd take you along for the ride while we rebuild the Argo. And we're almost done. Alright, the machine shop is done, and let's go ahead and see what remains here. And I want to get these done quick, because things just keep getting harder on me. Okay, training module. It's going to take 20 days to complete. It's 500,000 C-bills nearly. Mech Warriors gain 50 experience each day. Mech Warriors with less than 30,000 total experience can benefit from the training. With the training space completely packed with battle pods, Mech Warriors can engage in Lance versus Lance competition. And that inevitably means teams, logos, and pennants. Large-scale competition means even more experience for participating Mech Warriors. Each Mech Warrior with less than 50,000 total experience will gain 50 experience points per day. Sumire says, I've got a design for my simulator team's insignia ready to go, Commander. We're gonna get shirts made, and maybe even warm-up jackets. Get over yourself, Sumire. That's it, you versus me, sweetheart.
Roger that, Commander. I'll get the crew moving.
Anyway, we'll see what happens in 20 days, and then we've just got a little bit of recreational stuff, so I might be kind of mean to the crew just a little bit, so that those actually have a benefit. Alright, see you guys later. And yet again, it is poker night. Darius does his usual number with me here, trying to keep his skills sharp. I'm gonna pass this time. I don't know that it'll do anything, but I could take the morale hit and be okay. I've got other plans this evening, Darius, you say. Excellent, Darius says. I wasn't sure I could win if you were there tonight. He pauses, cocking an eyebrow to see if you were biting. When you just shake your head and smile, he says, Damn! And goes off to round up everybody else, leaving you to yourself for the evening. No lasting consequences. Next time, Darius. Next time. Alright, training module 3 is complete, so now Lyric will get just a little bit of extra training. Sadly, she's the only person really benefiting from these pods, but that's okay. And let's see, ship upgrades. An arcade, yes, a good old-fashioned arcade. About 500,000, has a fair cost to it. Completion takes 20 days, but it gives us +2 to morale. That empty storage space in Gamma pod with some additional power conduits could easily support a handful of 2D and 3D games. It's no replacement for the training units, but it's more fun. There's this game, Commander. No, hear me out, I'm serious. It's called Dropship Commander, and you pilot a leopard in a bunch of battle scenarios. Now, I'm not saying this game will make me a better pilot, but I'm not saying it won't either. So, yeah, Sumire is obviously a gamer at heart. We'll go ahead and give this to her, and then after that, there's only one more to worry about. See you guys in a few moments when we finally finish upgrading the Argo to its maximum capacity. We're back with the understaffed, and as I approach the mess deck, I overhear members of the Argo's crew complaining. Because they're significantly understaffed, everybody is exhausted from pulling extra shifts to keep things running. It hasn't overwhelmed them yet, but they have dark expectations about the future. Yeah, let's talk this over with Darius. Last time I let them vent and we had a morale issue. Had a morale issue either way. Great. You mentioned this to Darius, who says, we're running as lean as we can right now. If the crew's mood worries you, the best way to solve it is through the budget. In the meantime, we can impose tighter discipline to keep things in check. Within a few days, crew members are standing a bit straighter, and there's no complaints to be heard. Well, it's slightly better than what happened last time. Anyway, I don't know. Well, we're almost done upgrading. That's the important thing. Well, I hope they're happy. They've got an arcade, so here they thought I was ignoring them, and really, I was rewarding them. Suck it, guys. Suck it. Anyway, last but not least, we got one more upgrade to do. And that is the low-G pool. Yes, they really wanted a low-gravity pool. I will admit that seems somewhat interesting, Anyway, it'll boost their morale for 2, and when you have a large space with nothing critical in it, where the gravity is too low for living quarters, the obvious choice is to fill it with chlorinated water. It's kinda spendy, but whatever. Commander, come on. Low gravity swimming pool. I don't even know what there is to discuss here. Sumire, really? Well, I guess I get to see you in a bathing suit, so that's something.
Sure thing. It'll take a bit, but we'll get it done.
Alright, and I'll let you guys see the completed ship once everything's done. So, 20 days from now. Well guys, it finally happened. It only took me all week, technically, and you guys get to see it in the span of 2 episodes. But just to kind of show, the ship's looking absolutely beautiful now compared to the state we had it in. All the pods are nice and folded and pretty, new paneling on everything that needs it. The ship's looking good, and there's not one damn upgrade we can make. That's how I like it. Anyway, next episode, we're going to go ahead and advance the story, and I possibly will actually throw the intro to it as well as the actual battle and the aftermath all into one episode, so it may end up being a longer one. See you guys in episode 15, Wheel Trouble out. Okay, so little add-on to this episode that I wasn't expecting. I had gone through a mission to try to save all the upgrades and just to not lose money, since I'm not doing the greatest right now after all the upgrade purchases, and the game crashed. So, and you know, considering how long I've been playing it straight, I guess that's okay. But while replaying it, this came up. Week 165, Day 7, Skinny Dipping. Dr. Murad rewinds and restarts the video. The timestamp says 2:38 a.m. 7 wet, naked bodies come flying out of the new low-G pool installation and into the hall. 4 women, 3 men, all laughing, bouncing off each other. Oh my. Well, this is way more nudity than I was prepared to see this morning, Sumire says. Yang laughs. Seriously, how am I supposed to work with these people now? At this point, Sumire begins cracking up. Too true. Dr. Murad is deadly serious. Well, Commander, what are we going to do about this? I can either erase the recording or address the crew. I do not share the Islamic faith, and I think such prudishness is absolutely silly, so I'm just going to erase the damned recording. Look, I'm willing to pretend that I never saw this recording. We're all adults on this ship. To be honest, I'd rather have naked swim night than clean up blood and teeth after another fight. If this is how they want to blow off steam, so be it. Outside of maybe posting a sign that says, no running while wet, let's just erase it and get on with real business. Yang and Sumire put on their serious faces and everybody nods. Darius hits the button. All done. Morale has increased by 2. Naked swim night, guys. My house, be there. Well, girls. I'd rather it not be a sausage fest, but anyway. Okay, I'll see you guys in the next episode.